proceed further in this segment. So we start our very first segment where we are going to read about some workable tips. All living beings in creation have been pre programmed to balance work and rest. Even the hard-working ant and the alert watchdog rest. Man's constitution, like most other beings, is made to work during the day and rest at night. Sleep, especially at night, rejuvenates and refreshes us so we can work with energy and enthusiasm during the day. So, as much as work is important during the day, sleep at night and good sleep for 6 to 7 hours is again required. It is something which is very important for everyone. Now, with the discovery of electricity, we have now lit up our nights with daylight, day-like brightness. We have now chosen to do at night all that we would do in the day. Exactly. Because if it was earlier days where there was no electricity, definitely night would have been completely dark. And then the activities would have not been possible. So we live in the era where we have the advantage to use this thing in our favor. So we even work and continue working in the night time. We play night cricket, go for all night parties, indulge in late night TV watch, study, eat, work, and socialize. This artificial lifestyle has had its toll on our body and mind. We feel exhausted, irritable, and inefficient throughout the day. It happens that the nights which are too long, and if you are working or you are out for some reason and you are not sleeping for those many hours, you will see the difference when you wake up in the morning. We have before we have before us enough uh, have enough stories of so-called high achievers. We hear of young CEOs with huge pay packets, jet settling around the world, working round the clock, and their success stories are featured in top business magazines. Many of them suffer from ulcers, become workaholics, are always under tension, pressure, and very soon get burnt out or talk of retirement by 30. Now, doctors warn them to slow down, and when they do not do so, their health grounds them. So this is again one more feature which we cannot forget, that the ones who are workaholic, the ones who are working for a very, very long hours and it becomes their lifestyle, after few years, they start feeling burnout. And that's why this trend of early retirement or taking VRS or just working till 40 has become quite trending these days, because people early in those 15, 20 years, they exhaust themselves to the maximum. But that's, if you see carefully, it is quite imbalanced way of living, because you are investing your entire 15, 20 years only working and no resting. So when you have already caused the damage and then you start working on it, it will even take a longer time. So there is no balance in that space. So we hear of cases where the heart created by God to last for 200 years stops by 30. Strangely, no one except the boss is happy with someone who works all the time. Such people are in constant stress. The family is dissatisfied, children never see the parent, and the spouse is disgruntled. Colleagues in office are envious, and friends are non existent. What is the use of success when there is no happiness, peace, health, or harmony in our life? So, if we see, this is kind of an alarming situation, a thought to really ponder, that for what we are draining ourselves for so long hours, when we don't get peace of mind, we don't get our family, we don't get work satisfaction. Even for whatever we are working, we are not even getting that, but we are still going on and on and on. Some people do not know how to rest or relax. They are by nature restless and agitated. This makes them do something all the time. Some sleep with their mobile phones in bed and are disturbed through the night by unimportant message tones. Some feel guilty to be caught resting. Some feel that only if they do something all the time will they be called productive and efficient, and that remaining always in action mode will make them successful. So, that is also a big scenario in today's world. People don't know how to live with themselves, even for 5 minutes. They can't even sit quietly without doing nothing for 5 minutes. That's the state of um, our existence. And nowadays, this percentage is increasing day by day. Some feel that they should rest only after all the work is finished or after that X task is over, however long it may take. So they trudge on exhausted. Remember, work never gets finished, it only finishes us. Also, we will never be given rest time. We have to take out rest time. We have to make time or take time out. Again, important. There will be no end to all these things. It is us who have to decide whether we want to continue working and let our health be affected, or we just take a pause and balance things out. Because as we discussed, whatever you are doing, if you're stretching your working hours or exhausting yourself, what are you exhausting for? Because if you're doing it for your work, you are not work satisfied. If you're doing it for your boss, he is otherwise also not satisfied. And you are losing out on your time, your energy, your health, your family, friends, social commitments. Everything is taking backseat. So it's a big cost actually you are paying. Now, there is one very famous quote: all rest and no play was earlier what was known. So now, some follow the law of inertia and refuse to work till they are pushed to do so. If you rest and rust, both in body and mind, if we do not use our body and mind, we loosen them or lose them. So do not work restlessly or with less rest. And also do not rest worklessly or with workless. So the idea is balance. Balance is the right word in this phrase. The body and mind will be of no use if you misuse, abuse, or disuse them. They should be used well for peak performance. So, again, if we keep our body well in space and balance things out, that is again in our control. Again, we go back to the same point ki, who is going to decide that what is balance for me? Who is going to decide that how I'm going to take care of all the areas of my life equally? If I am working for others and according to their choices, I understand that sometimes due to some need or personal requirement, or maybe for some kind of specific project, there are few days which are not regular. That's acceptable. Those few days, irregular, acceptable. But if you make your lifestyle like that, if you start working in that pattern only, that is not acceptable. That is harmful because it takes a long time to come out of it then. So now what should be the action plan? The opposite of what results in success becomes the cause of failure. Like hard work leads to success and laziness to failure. Well thought of actions and thoughtful actions result in success, whereas thoughtless actions and actionless thinking are fruitless. So, right thinking must precede all actions. Some do not think at all, some not enough, and some do wrong thinking before actions. Such attempts in suffering and failure. So, a woman left her child sleeping in the cradle and went to get water from the village well. On her return, she was greeted at the door by the pet mongoose with blood on its mouth. In a shocked state, she thought that the mongoose had harmed her child. She killed it in anger and rushed to the child. It was sleeping peacefully next to the dead cobra which the mongoose had killed. Now, this is an old story. I have heard it in my childhood. She thereafter deeply regretted her thoughtless action. Many act in haste and regret at leisure. So, this was an example given to us that how we can be more thoughtful towards the things we are doing and why we are doing. And that's where the balance will come. So now next we are going to read about actionless thinking in the days to come. Tomorrow we will read further and how to start taking the right action so that we have balance and control back in our life. So with this we come to the end of the reading segment. We move on to the second segment, and for that over to you, Snehal. So we read further tomorrow to understand better.
Good morning, everyone. So now we are reading this book, Tips of Happy Living, and almost like we are getting towards the end of it and understanding now how it is important, whatever we are reading, whatever we gain knowledge, how we can make it into practice, because that is what is important from knowing to doing. Then only we will be able to, see some change or results. And it starts with this week it's starting with a very nice thought that how it is important to balance life. So success shouldn't be at the cost of other areas of your life. How it is important to balance the wheel of life so that you have a smooth ride on your life's journey. So today's guided meditation is based on this, like how it is important to convert whatever we are reading into actual action steps. That means from knowing to doing. So we start sitting in comfortable position with spine straight and eyes closed. Start focusing on your breathing. Deep breath in. Hold for a moment and slowly exhale. One more time. Inhale deeply and exhale, letting go of all the heaviness. And now bring awareness to your mind and just notice how many ideas, thoughts, tips you already know. Just observe, no judgments. And now, gently ask yourself, out of everything I know, what one small thing I can actually do today? Just pause. Let the answer rise naturally. Do not force it. It may be very simple, like drinking more water, making coffee, taking a 10 minutes walk, listening with patience. Now, bring your awareness to your heart and say to yourself, I choose progress over perfection. I choose action over overthinking. Feel these words and now imagine your mind and heart are aligning. Not just thinking, but moving forward gently. Now, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the need to do everything perfect. You only need to do one small step today, and that is enough. Now you are ready to carry this one small action for today's day. And now, slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment, clicking toes and fingers of your mouth, keep it on your eyes and hands, and slowly open your eyes. So, this is about just with this, you decide like what is that one thing which I am learning all these days, but today I am going to do it. I am going to implement, I am going to train my mind. I'm not going to go into my default mode, but I will incorporate this. And this is what, of course, taking that action with intention. That means you're not just doing for doing namesake, you have that intention in your mind. And then as you do it, become a newer version, make this as your default mode, and then you can take up another one. So by this way, whatever we are learning, we are actually implementing in our day, and then of course the real life changes would be visible. And as one fine day, like a compounding effect, they will be seen in all the areas of life when you consistently apply it. And with this, we will be moving to next segment.
Yes, so as we are on the last segment of the day, today is the day to write affirmations. And as I have always vouched that affirmation is just nothing but those positive statements which help us to rewire our brain. The more we are inclined and we keep on repeating it, it helps us to lose that subconscious pattern and build a new one. So for that, it is very, very helpful. I will be sharing a list. Now, today, as we discussed about how rest and balance in your life is very important. Because if you ignore it at the during the time when you are healthy, you are working continuously and you are in the shape and size to continue working, you ignore your health, you ignore your sleep, you ignore balance, then you face repercussions very early in life and you feel burnt out. So, to avoid that kind of a situation, we will be sharing definitely affirmations based on the same pattern where you choose wisely what is important for your healthy living, what is important for your best way to live a balanced life. Because in any space, when balance is missing, the result, or I should say, the dent which is formed, it is on you only. You only face the challenges when you are not able to balance your lifestyle. So we start our affirmations, and the first and foremost, we just a second. Okay, so we start with this thoughtful decision that I take thoughtful actions that create meaningful results. Now, I am focusing on my actions because my actions are only leading to my future results or framing my future. So, I am focusing that my actions are thoughtful. When I'm working, I'm doing my part. When I need to give a break, I am careful of that also. So, thoughtful action is connected, which is the bridge between your balance and imbalance. So, I take thoughtful actions that create, either you can say that create meaningful results or that creates balance in my life. That can also be. I think I can make it like that. That creates, because we are more talking about balance today, balance in my life. So we are more focusing on how you can have a balance, whether it is work life, it is study life, it is home and personal space, whatever, the balance in or any area which you are working. So your actions are going to be thoughtful. You are not just randomly just going with the flow and just sewing away. The next one is that you give your best to your work and still honor your personal time. So when you are working, you are giving your best. If you're working for 8 hours in the day, you are giving your best. But after that, you honor your personal space equally because that's how the balance will come in life. So I give my best to my work and still honor my personal space. Very important, especially for those who are workaholic in the room. This might give you some shift in your mind. This reframing will work if you will start using this affirmation continuously and balance your system. It's very, very essential. Now, your work is important. That's why you are more inclined towards it. But your inner peace cannot be ignored. So, my work is important, and so is my inner peace. How are you justifying this action which you are taking? Because your plan or your maybe work schedule is demanding you to act continuously and finish it off. But you are justifying yourself that if my work is important, so is my inner peace. I cannot just compromise on that. So, this is a very simple way of maintaining inner calm. So, my work is important. So you are not ignoring your work or you are not sidelining. When you are balancing, it's not कि work को कुछ कम stress or importance दिए. It's not like that. But you are trying to balance both the situations in the best possible way. Okay, my inner peace came together. Okay. So far we have, one second, I will just push it upward. So far we have started with thoughtful actions. We have focused that work is important, so is my personal time. And equally, I'm giving a logical reason that one thing is important and I can't compromise on the other thing as well. Because most of the time, when you are loaded with work or stress, the first thing you compromise is your personal space. Now, in that, it can be anything. Even in daily routine, many at times it happens. There is some extra work, you will compromise on your health regime. If there's some extra work, you will compromise on personal things, what you do for yourself. So that is very natural, which comes to everyone. One odd day is fine. Making it a ritual is not going to give you a good result later. So now, one more thing which we add on to the list is that your focus. Focus कहाँ है? वो बहुत important है. So I focus on what truly matters. What truly matters and let go of the rest. So I focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest, because you have to also understand that you can't address everything. You can't be a superhuman being in that way, that you're focusing on everything equally and you are working on everything at the same time. Not humanly possible. You do try, but when you try, you are exhausted. That's where the draining out is seeping in. So you focus on what matters to you, because your inner peace matters. You are honoring your personal space. Your work is important. You are balancing the two. So focus on what truly matters and start letting go of something which is, what things you will let go, something which is without, which is not in your control, something which is not going to serve any good. I'm not cracking my brain on that and wasting my energy. Last but not the least, most important, I deserve success without sacrificing my well being. You deserve success. It's not that you are compromising on your success or on your growth. So you deserve it, but not on the cost of your well being, but success without sacrificing my well being. So now, what happens when you keep on telling yourself frequently? Now, these affirmations, what will happen? You keep on repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. Automatically, because see, your mind doesn't know the difference between real and fake. It will only believe what you say. Let me remind you again. That's why these affirmations are giving your mind a signal that this is my new reality. I am believing on this. I'm repeating it again and again. Let's start turning it into my reality only. So, the more you say that I deserve success without sacrificing my well being, you will start acting that way. You will start honoring your personal space more. So that's how you're going to work for your betterment. I'll be sharing the same list in the group as well. So anyone who had missed or you would like to just go back and refresh, you can use it there. But start using these affirmations frequently. That change you will feel and experience in your real life on day-to-day basis. So on that note, we meet tomorrow again, same time, same place, same link. And we end today's session with this hope and this trust that you are going to honor your personal space above anything else. Thank you so much. Have a great positive day. Bye bye and take care.